And we are back. Welcome to the spread. Week 10 NFL, our 4 best bets for you. But before we get going, here's what we're going to talk about today. First one, is San Francisco back after the bye week? Did they fix things? Are they ready to go? Are the Jags for real? Will the real Detroit Lions please stand up? Please stand up. Who are you? Are you any good? What's next for CJ Stroud after his big day? And are the Pittsburgh Steelers actually good? So we're going to cover all that. But before we get going, as we always do, who had the sauce? Presented by our good friends. Look at that. Look at that artwork. That's awesome. Torchbearer sauces, accidentally healthy, intentionally delicious. It's still grilling season. Get out there, put this stuff on everything. Hamburgers, chili, hot dogs, beef, whatever you want to put on it, put on it. It's great on seafood too. So it's still grilling season. Head out there, use this stuff. It's phenomenal. Go to the website. They got 4.5 million flavors. You're going to love it. Who had the sauce? Well, this one's easy. CJ Stroud, 5 touchdowns. Only 4 other rookies have done this ever. So gigantic day for that gentleman. He's having a great rookie season. He's on track to win Rookie of the Year. Who else had the sauce? The Bengals win again. Defense was huge against Allen in their running game. Joe Burrow was great. I mean, they are the hottest team in the NFL. Number 1 probably in everybody's power rankings, or should be. I don't care if they're not undefeated. They're playing great football right now. Who had no sauce? The entire AFC all lost. Dolphins lost a heartbreaker. They blew it down the stretch. Breaks my heart to say anything like that, but they just didn't play good football. We talked about Buffalo. New England is garbage this year, and the New York Jets still don't have a quarterback. So enough we need to say about all that. Let's jump into right now our 4 best games, best bets. Let's go. San Francisco 49ers -3 on the road going into Jacksonville, over under 45.5. So this is a huge game, right? Let's start off right off. San Francisco fresh off 3 losses in a row. Brock Purdy playing terrible. And let's be honest, injuries. Been horrible so far, but thank God for the bye week. Can San Francisco get right? Can they right this ship? Let's see what happens. Debo's still out, but the big man is coming back. Trent Williams, he anchors that offensive line. Now, San Francisco wins and covers if they rush the ball for 25 times. This is going to allow the passing lanes to open for Purdy. Kittle should eat. Plus, it's going to get play actions. He loves to move the pocket. Purdy's pretty, I would say, almost elite when he's when he's on the run throwing. He's fantastic off of those. But if the run gets shut down, that's where they're in trouble. They've had trouble with that all year so far. And I think once they got in this losing streak, teams are starting to figure them out a little bit. But it probably also helps other teams Debo's not playing. What can Jacksonville do to win this game? Jacksonville 5 in a row. Some of those wins against so-so teams, but they're doing it. They're winning. Trevor Lawrence is in the spotlight always, but the true hero of this team is that defense, man. Number 3 against the run. They're allowing 79 yards a game. They're only allowing 19.5 points per game. Number 1 in takeaways. So the 2 questions coming into this game: can Jacksonville be physical enough against San Fran? And can Lawrence score enough against that San Francisco defense? And here's your answer: no and no. So let's do this. We're going to take San Francisco -3. The losing streak ends in Jacksonville, and they're going to be back winning again. Second game, Detroit Lions -3, another road favorite going into LA Chargers, over under 48.5. Detroit really hasn't looked right in the last few weeks. They got beat up in Baltimore. When they went in the red zone against Vegas on Monday night 2 weeks ago, they really couldn't score. They were kicking field goals most of the time. Detroit, let's be honest, would love to do two things in this game: run the football and have Goff get touchdowns in the red zone, not field goals. Let's break that down a little bit more. Two other numbers about the red zone. Detroit only scores 48% of the time we're in the red zone, and their defense is allowing 65%. So something's got to give here. Detroit's got to get better, and those red zone numbers mean touchdowns. So Detroit's got to score touchdowns a lot more often in the red zone, especially with the stretch coming up. They want to start gearing up for the playoffs. I can't believe we're saying playoffs already, but they're going to have to fine tune that with Goff if they expect to go far in the playoffs. Chargers, sloppy win against the Jets, but a win is a win. The defense dominated a below-average quarterback in Zach Wilson. I don't even want to call him a quarterback. But the Chargers can win this game if they take the challenge on it being physical with the Lions and run the ball with Eckler which is no easy task. Detroit only gives up about 76 yards on the ground, but if they stay committed to that run, that should set up a soft middle off the field to throw. Chargers are allowing teams, though, to complete 68% of their passes. So that's what I'm thinking about. So the Chargers defense, 68% of passes. Earlier in the week, I really like Detroit +3 here. LA Chargers +3. But the more you kind of break this down, I don't think LA is going to be physical enough, even though they did face a hell of a defense in the Jets and pulled that out. But the Jets, they have no ability to score to scare you. So in this game, let's lock this one in. Let's take Detroit Lions. Again, we're going to take the road favorite, -3 in this game. Next one, very interesting. Houston Texans going into Cincinnati. Cincinnati's favored by 6.5, over under 47.5. How can Houston beat the top team in the NFL right now? And how? First, let's start this one. Keep CJ Stroud upright. Give him time to find Nico Collins. Nico Collins is having 17.5 yards a catch. Houston needs to find their running game. It hasn't been there all year, especially against Cincinnati. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves in a lot of 3rd and longs. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9s. Now, the other part of this, Dalton Schultz, the tight end for Houston. He's come on a lot lately. They need to find a mismatch and exploit it. For their 3rd down rate, they're only getting it 41% of the time on offense. It's about middle of the road. So as good as CJ Stroud has played, they're going to have to improve that number because they want to keep Burrow in that offense off the field. So let's jump on Cincinnati's side. Cincinnati, they just keep winning. All they do is win. And Burrow does his thing. They call him Joe Cool. So the last 3 games, talking about Burrow, 816 yards, 7 touchdowns. Remember those 3 teams: Buffalo, San Fran, and Seattle. He's thrown 7 touchdowns against. Trey Hendrickson, outstanding defensive end. He's had 8 sacks on the year. He is what they call a disruptor off the edge. He can set it against the run, and he can absolutely get after that quarterback. So the key for them, they need to pressure Stroud over and over and over. And for that, Cincinnati is 4th in takeaways in the league. So that model does work. But the real reason I like Cincinnati here, even though 6.5 isn't a huge spread, but still pretty big, man, is Houston banged up. They showed the injury report today. I think if you looked at it, it's like this long and half the team didn't practice. That alone tells me Houston's a little banged up. Let's go Cincinnati. Take the -6.5 at home. Lock that one in. And then finally, interesting game. We're going to find out if either one of these teams are any good. The Green Bay Packers are going into Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's favored by 3, over under 38.5. We got to ask ourselves, is it finally time to say Jordan Love isn't the long-term answer in Green Bay? That's really the question, but we're going to say that one for a second. For Green Bay to win this game and to cover that spread, the formula is very easy. It's called A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. 2 dynamic running backs Green Bay has. And they should be ready to eat against that Pittsburgh D-line. But the question is, we know Love can make those longer passes. Accuracy's always been an issue with him since he's been in the league. So let's back it up a little bit and ask this. Can Love make those 3 or 4 critical passes on every game in the NFL on Sundays? When it's that 3rd and short, when you need that 1st down, when it matters the most, can he do that? I don't think he can, but we're going to find out. Now, the Packers D, very, very good against the pass, especially in a passing league. They're only giving up under 200 yards a game. I think it's 199.8, so they're right there. If we're talking about Pittsburgh, the question is Kenny Pickett who stinks? Or is it the OC? Or is it both? Or is it a little bit of this, a little bit of that? That's the question. In their win against Tennessee, Pickett was outplayed by the rookie at Tennessee, Levis from Kentucky. He has regressed, and all that promise for the preseason, long gone. That seems like 2 years ago. And the worst thing, they're wasting George Pickens in this system. Last game, Devontae Johnson and Jaylen Warren were huge in the second half. They made some big-time plays in that 3rd and 4th quarter to get the win over Tennessee. But everything Pittsburgh does on offense is difficult. They don't get huge chunk plays. And you think they would because Pickett was a good long ball thrower in Pittsburgh Panthers when he played in college. But the defense really carries this team. For this game, Fitzpatrick is still out, and the unit, but did play very well against the Titans when it counted. So really, you take all those factors in. It's a small favorite, home favorite. I really would like to take Green Bay here, but I don't trust Love. Then you look at Pittsburgh, I don't trust Pickett. But I trust the home field advantage here. So let's lock in Pittsburgh -3. And on this one, let's take the under at 38.5. So we're going to go under 38.5. And that's it. We went through, those are the 4 big bets. But let's break it down a little bit even more for you guys. Let's do a little easy money. These are our 2 best picks of the week. And what we're going to do right away, we're going to go to Sunshine State. Let's get San Francisco -3. They need to win this game. They're still huge contenders in NFC West. They need to win. They need to get back on track. And this is the game. It's going to be a dogfight. But San Francisco's going to win that game. They're going to cover the spread. And the other game I absolutely love, Detroit Lions. This is the week. The offense is going to get back on track in the red zone. So they take Detroit -3. And that's all I got. I have one thing for you guys. Hit that like and subscribe. Like the show, subscribe. We're going to give out some great bets. We're going to keep talking football. And then I think every couple of weeks now, we're going to start putting our power rankings out there, how we see the league and how it's breaking down. But thank you as always. We're going to see you next time. Lock those bets in. Lock them in early. Lock them in often. And best of luck to everybody out here this weekend. Have a great one.